another segment of Prison Chronicles, where we come together to give you the raw and uncut version of how prison affected not only the ones that have gone to prison, but the families and friends and loved ones as well. If you are a first-time viewer, please let us know by typing in first time. We would like to personally greet you and welcome you to the show. We again encourage you to share because there's no us without you. In addition, if you have any questions or comments and concerns, feel free to type in the comment section. Last thing, if you know any male, female that has been previously incarcerated, any spouse that has lost their mate to prison, any child, mother or father, or even friend that have someone in prison and would like to come to the show to tell their story, please give us a call at 501-551-8489. And please like and share. Well, here we go, another segment of Prison Chronicles, and I think it's very special because so many people have hit me up and inquiring about why there's no women on the show. I need more women, but first of all, y'all got to reach out to us. You know what I'm saying? Let us know that you want to be on the show. But I think this is going to be a very special segment because we have women on the show. And first of all, I want to give a special shout out to this lady here because in the men prison, she's a legend in there. She's a legend in there because she's seeing so many men in there money, putting money on their books and stuff, sending them cards and things like that. And she's a legend in there, and she don't even know how profound that is and how much she touched the lives of inmates in there. And they hit me up the other day and told me that because they know you was gonna be on, they told me to give you a special shout out. But I'm gonna give these women an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell you what age they went down in incarceration and how much time they did.
Start out.
Yes.
My name is Lynn Moore, aka the boss. I went down in 2017 of October. I was 45 years old when I went down
You were 45?
45. I'm 49 now. I'll be 50 this year.
Yeah.
I thank God for another chance. It wasn't easy at all, but I was 45, and I seen some women in there way older than me that need to come home.
How much time you did?
I did only 2 years and shouldn't have been done for that.
All right.
A little bit.
All right.
And my name is Bridget Dooley. I went down in 1991. I did 9 months, and hey, I just had a baby, and hey, it was rough having a baby going down at that time.
My name is Ruby Annette Carter Welch. I went to prison in April 1999. I was released on August the 31st, 2006, so I actually did 7 years, 5 months, and 6 days. I was incarcerated for possession with intent to deliver less than 12 grams of crack cocaine, and I received a 30-year sentence. And since I've come home, I decided in prison, because I'm real transparent. Prison actually gave me a freedom. It was in prison that I found my freedom, because I was doing a lot of things I had no business doing before I went to prison, because one thing I had to realize to myself, that 302 Wack and Hut Way did not send me an invitation. I decided to crash their party.
That's a good way to put it. But check this out, y'all. And when I ask y'all questions, y'all don't have to go in order to fit, you know what I'm saying, to answer them. Just be yourself, be you.
Yeah.
But you know, there's not too many movies out that depict how women are in prison, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we get y'all on the show. So I know y'all come up watching, you know, y'all have seen movies about the males in prison. So could you tell us a rundown of how, you know, knowing you're going to prison, your first night in there, was you scared, your feelings, your emotions?
Okay. Being 45, the mentality I had, I thank God for prison because it humbled me a little bit. I was never humble before I left like I am today. My first day, well, when I got at the fence to go in, I left a 22-year-old son at the time out to raise his 14-year-old sister. And then my little godson, Kamari, and they all went with me along with my mother and my cousin to take me. So when I got ready for them to come get me at the fence to go in federal prison, I was never scared of none. It's something you know you got to do. You got to put your big girl panties on and go on in there and do what you got to do. When I got in there, before I went, my daughter was like, before I left, I was kind of like a fighter type of woman. you know.
Yeah.
But, and still will if you rub me wrong, but I've tried to stay away from certain situations. It's still in me, I'm just gonna be honest. But my daughter, she asked me, she said, Mom, I got one thing to ask you. She said, don't let nobody stop you from coming home to me. She said, don't get in no fights, Mama. And I almost got in several of them. But it's just that little voice in the back of my mind that helped me through. But my first night in there, it's a game changer, because when they let you in that gate, you know you're not getting out till your time is up.
Yeah.
So reality hit. After they tell you take your clothes off and squat butt naked, and oh, that's humiliating.
Yeah,
but
man.
you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Get naked and squat and all of that. That was humiliating for me, I can say, because my body is my temple.
You know, in prison, they tell us to squat and cough. You know, some officer tell you to open your cheeks, spread them. Do y'all have to open y'all front and all that? Do they tell y'all to do that?
Squat, cough.
Y'all got to lift y'all breasts and all that?
Yes.
I didn't have to, because there's
Yeah.
a machine in the federal prison that kind of
Yeah,
circulates
see,
your
she
whole
went
body.
to McPherson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She went to McPherson. That's a different level there.
It's totally different going to state. And the thing about it is, when I went to the state in 1999, you guys have to remember the private prisons. Okay, so
Wackenhut.
we were owned by
Yeah.
Wackenhut. And so I had heard the stories about how cruel Wackenhut was. And, you know, I'm small in stature, but you guys, I'm actually a giant. And I'm a fighter, used to be. Oh, I still am, because God left just enough street in me that, you know, I still remember. So I can bring it up fast. But I remember sitting in the county jail and people coming back and telling us the stories of Wackenhut. And I was like, man, you know, I'm going to have to go down here and act like a net, which I really want to be Ruby, because I was trying to change before I went to prison, because I knew I was going. But then my husband got killed 6 months. He was murdered 6 months before I went to prison. So, y'all, I'm an empath, so if I get kind of teary-eyed, just bear with me. So my husband got killed, and so I was broken. And I really didn't care about going to prison. So as far as asking how I felt, I don't know how I felt. I can't tell you how I felt that the first 3 years of being in prison.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you how I felt 4 years in, 5 years in, my 6 years, when I started fighting to get out. But the first 3-4 years, I was numb, because I felt like I had lost everything. You know, I lost my husband. I was losing my freedom. And everybody that says, if anything happens, I'm always be here for you. I'm always be here for you. All these people.
That's when you see your true friends.
That's why I say it was in prison that I found my freedom, because I was free from pleasing people. I was free to be able to see who really did love me and who didn't.
Yeah, that's when you see.
You know, and so the only thing I really remember about prison that I could tell you that is the reason why I would never go back, and I'm gonna have to piggyback off of what Lynn said. When they made me get butt naked in front of like 50 other women that I had never seen in life, butt naked. Now, I mean, you know, I'm small frame. I love my body. You know, I don't mind showing it. But we're talking about just get butt naked. They're just like, get naked. And then they gonna say, quail yourself from
that's
the
the worst thing.
head of your top.
They don't care if it's
My hair was the worst thing.
They don't care if you get butt
Hey, hold
naked.
up. So what if y'all on y'all period?
It does not matter.
You gotta
The
take the
worst
pad
It
off.
happened to me.
The
Most
worst thing.
disgusting thing of my life. You
The
hear me?
worst
I said,
thing.
it's that time for me. She said, "Man, we don't care."
They don't care. They don't care.
naked.
Damn.
You ain't got no. And then you gotta stand there with this quail on you for like 15 minutes, butt
We
naked.
didn't have no quail in the federal system, but
The shampoo. Then the shampoo.
Nah,
Girl,
they
my
didn't
hair
do
was
that.
looking bad. They
You
said,
get brand
I
new.
gotta put
I
this
don't
on
know
my
nothing
hair.
about the used panties or nothing.
No,
I'm
we
gangster,
do.
but
No,
I'm
we
bougie.
get everything.
They get some
You
used
get
panties.
everything new in the
I
state.
wouldn't have worn none. I
No.
had to go to the shoe.
The quail is for the lice. And you know, and I'm still telling them, black folks don't get lice. They ain't gonna wash my hair with
Tell
that
you
black
what, though.
But we do.
What you asked about the first day going in there, I'm gonna go back to that. my first night in there is when reality show enough hit. When I got on that bunk, that little thin mattress, hard, back problems to the day. I never had them until I went to prison.
Okay.
I got in there on that bunk. I remember catching a spasm. I jumped up hollering in the night. The girls was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I got a cramp." I wasn't used to that type of life. And I hit my head, ran into the locker and everything. Down there, passed out, just trying to get it up off of me. I'm telling you, I woke up hollering. But the main thing is I had a couple of homeboys that told me, "Tough as you is, Lynn, I know you're going to cry when you think about your kids." That's the only thing that brought tears to my eyes.
For real.
Because I knew my son was young and he had to step up and be a man and take care of my daughter, because he never really had a father. And then my daughter's father can't stay out the penitentiary. So he was incarcerated, and then here I am going, you know. And so therefore, my daughter was young. At that time, she really needed her mother. So when I got in bed, my homeboys, they done did a lot of state time. They like, "Just don't let nobody see you cry. Put the cover over your head, cry inside, and face the wall." And I did that many days and nights in that penitentiary thinking about my kids, but I never stopped praying. I was a praying mama, you hear me? I never stopped praying. When my kids came to see me, it was the hardest thing to watch them leave, you know. To watch them leave and then know that they got food to eat and stuff like that. And I was the type of person that helped everybody when I was out here. Nobody had to help me because I always had money, you know. I never needed nothing. But when I went in there, I still didn't need nothing. I had some good people on my team, but my kids needed things out here. I left them straight, but they wasn't able to manage the money because they was always used to having everything. So the money left fast. All the people that I helped, I mean, I never did it for them to help me back, but you would have just thought that they would have called and said, "Hey, y'all need a loaf of bread or something over there. I know your mama gone. She done always been here for us. We get food stamps, something. Let me take y'all to the grocery store." Nothing ever happened with not one single friend I said I had. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just talking. But nothing ever happened, y'all, with my kids. That was the most hurtful thing, but that was the best thing because I was able to find out who people really, really were. And what don't kill you can only make you stronger is my favorite saying. I stand on that. I believe in that. And it didn't kill me, it only made me stronger. I went in as a very sick lady with sarcoidosis. I still have it, and I have asthma and bronchitis, all that in one. So I had a lot of spells, but I worked out. I did my own thing. I went to a unit where it was supposed to be a hospital unit. No one never seen me for 7 months, y'all. The whole time I was in there, they were supposed to see me within 14 days. I thought I was dying one time off the medicine they gave me, and I quit taking it, and I went on faith, and I made it through. Every pound I shed, I picked it back up, but and I'm out of remission, but I'm still here. So I'm grateful for that. The best thing was the day I walked up out of there, and my kids they met me at the airport. I did time in 3 different prisons. I went in with 4 points. Federal prison go by a point system. I went in with 4 measly points. Was supposed to be in a camp, y'all. I went to a drug program where a girl had been on my case, and they told me, "You'll go to the shoe before she did," because I was like, "Why do you want to talk to me? You snitched on me." I didn't know nothing about keeping your mouth closed. They part of the federal government. You can't say anything to them. But she said something to me first, and I hadn't gotten to the place where I am today. So I ended up getting shipped inside the fence. When I did go back, my point status never changed, but I did most of my time inside the fence. But guess what? That was the best times that I did. I was able to get in the choir. I made my time useful. I can't sing a note, but I was in there. And I met a lot of good women, old and young, and that's what I was telling them. My best friends was the older chicks, you know, the ones that's got 27, 30 years under their belt. I want to see them come home. They done their time. A lot of them in there simply because somebody else did something and didn't want to take their time, and they done a lot of time, and they sick, and I watch women die in there that I sit by and watch TV with every day. It was a horrible experience, but one that I'll never forget, and for that I'm grateful, because I probably would have been still out here getting that bag, and now the only bag I get is cooking food, what God gave me the gift to do. I cook for the wardens. I ended up being in staff dining, ended up being the head cook in 1 month. And when I tell you, I was banging them pots in there, getting a whole meal out by myself. I'd start at almost 7 in the morning and be done by 10:45 with a whole meal for every captain, lieutenant, warden. And I'm talking about they begged me not to leave, but I had to go.
Bridget, if you can recollect, how was your first night in there?
Oh, well, my first night, I was more worried about my child, you know. And you guys, I'm old school. I'm the old Pine Bluff. I mean, I got 4 numbers. Now they down, what, to 7 or 8, then up in the 100,000.
No, it's 6.
It's 6. Well, I had 4 numbers, so I'm old school. I was in Pine Bluff, so I was blessed. But then again, it was an experience. And the only thing that I was wanting to do is to get back to my child. My child was a month old when I left.
A month?
A month old. And I thank God for her daddy, because he kept money on my books.
Ooh, that's a blessing.
My mama bought the baby when I first seen her, I was like, who baby is that? Because babies change.
How long was you locked up before your baby came?
I was locked up 3 months before my baby came to see me. So she was like 4 months, and I was like, she changed totally. But the thing about it is, I was blessed because I seen a lot of situations where people wanted things and didn't have it. And I'm a giver. I'm a sharer. I bought real cheese. I didn't even smoke cigarettes. I bought cigarettes for people that come. And and I worked a job in Pine Bluff, and I worked laundry. I worked from 11 to 7. So everybody going to work when I'm coming in. But I got that respect. I went in there and I'll be sleeping. They'll come in and watch Young and the Restless. My bed right there in 8 Barracks by the TV. So one morning I got to be, y'all ain't got no damn respect for nobody. I give y'all everything y'all ask me for. And so from that day forward, they say, you better be quiet. Dooley going to get mad. Or I get up and watch the TV with them. But I can say I was right there at Pine Bluff Unit. Like I said, they can keep the number. I told them when I left there, but it was 419897, and they can have it. I ain't going back, but it was an experience because, like I said, leaving your child at a month old,
Any age.
and you got, like you said, you had a lot of people that was there for life. You had a lot of people that had been back and forth. The time I had some girls come in, leave and come back. But in the short time I was there, I was like, girl, what you doing back here? But I didn't let, the thing about we women, we have to not let, because our past shun us for our future. I done raised 3 kids. They're beautiful. And they're doing well, and I'm very proud of them. I hold my head up because my past is what's got me where I am today. It is. So,
and listening to Bridget and Lynn, I just got sorry about that, you guys. I just have to say, I didn't have any children. Well, I have a son. I don't call him my stepson. I have a son. Who was 16 when I went to prison, but he was also going to prison himself at the same time. 6 months after his dad, my husband, had gotten killed. But one thing that I realized when I was in prison, I kept seeing the women that were using the prison as a revolving door. And I had to start looking at myself, because I glorify. I do no glorifying in my past life, you guys. You will not hear me say, hey, I was making this kind of money, I was wearing these kind of, there's no glory. I destroyed lives, you all. And when I got behind those walls and I started seeing those women, and I kept saying, why are they coming back? And I started talking to these women. And I realized these women were coming back because they had different addictions, drug addictions, alcohol addictions, sexual addictions, just didn't know how to function. And me knowing that I knew better, I was raised better, and I'm unapologetically a woman of God. I trust God for everything, every day. I'm unapologetically a Christian. And I came home running to help these women, sitting at everybody's table trying to figure out, okay, what can we do? So now I'm the Arkansas ambassador for the dignity of incarcerated and formerly incarcerated women for Cut 50. And in 2019, we passed a bill called Dignity for Incarcerated Women. And what that bill dealt with was the fact that, we'll go into that later, but I had some health problems where I was bleeding.
Well, we'll be right back after a short commercial break. Hold that thought, Ruth.
Oh, I was bleeding.
Hold on. back and we're gonna let Ms. Ruby finish telling her story right quick.
Okay, what I was saying was that I had some health issues. I went in with a pea-sized fibroid cyst, and with my paperwork to be placed on birth controls, but they wouldn't give me birth controls because, like I said, it's a private prison, it was whacking hut. Officers were sleeping with women. It was just wild down there, y'all. I'm telling you.
Hey, check it out. Even with you speaking on officers sleeping with women, all y'all had lights out before y'all went in. Y'all was queen pins, and y'all own right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did things, as y'all say right now that we older, we know we destroyed the community, things like that. But being accustomed to the life that y'all lived and that y'all grew up in, being locked up in prison, not having no makeup, not having your hair done, and no nails and toes and all that stuff done. How did y'all feel seeing that y'all being around male officers? Did y'all feel vulnerable? Did y'all feel exposed?
And that's not true because you have all that in prison.
Yeah, and I went in with a block, and then in there, now the only thing that was reality is I like to eat good food. I had a good lifestyle, and when you get in there, I ain't gonna lie, tell everybody, I was looking at the TV, y'all, looking at 99-cent chicken McNuggets and cheeseburgers from McDonald's, wishing I had one, okay? Because you don't get none of that. But I learned how to work with what I had for those couple of years I was locked down. And I even got out and got sent to the county on a humbug. So, and
how long did you do in the county?
I did 90. I flattened it out on my
90 days?
FBOP.
I bet
Didn't
that's
even
wild.
get to see a judge, and I'm gonna work on that later. We'll talk about that later.
Love you, Tanisha.
But at the end of the day, I had a purpose of going through there too. I look at everything, my prison experience and all of that. But when I went in there, y'all, to put on that ugly mess and them little cheap tennis shoes that you're spending $54 and $65 and $100 for your boots and stuff that cost probably $20-some out here, we was glad to get them. Everything fit in a locker that I had about this big to the floor.
Your whole life.
My whole life had to fit in that locker. I put my knee all overbought, okay? I got a problem with it. I put my knee up to that locker, put my lock on, and a couple of times I had to get my roommates to help me roll my clothes up a certain kind of way.
So, there's always people in the barracks that don't get it like you.
Right.
I used to buy their boxes.
Yes,
man,
and put some of my
Make
stuff
sure
in
they
there
eat
too.
good.
And a lot of things, that's another thing I was giving before I left. I was giving in there, and I still give while I'm out. I give to the homeless, y'all. I help people all the time. Even when I couldn't help myself, I was still helping people. In the county, any of my girls out there that was locked up with me or in the county, y'all know I took care of y'all in there. I never said no. I just don't know how.
That's right.
So if I had something, if I eat, everybody eat around me. So, and that's just how
But
I
let me
made
say
it.
this.
But I don't wear makeup, and I was getting my hair braided, and I was flat iron the rest, so.
You ain't ever had sex with no dude in there?
I wasn't trying to. I went in without a man. I came out without a man. I went in there, but
That's a man's thing.
It ain't like y'all
It ain't no priority. It just happened. You seen no woman that worked for 12 hours.
It just happens.
You
Sex
at work.
don't just happen,
I'm just saying, you at work. I mean, it's something you want to do.
Women come on to me.
There was women in there
saying,
sleeping with some of them, but I wasn't.
I'm saying, them women ain't getting jobs to come down there to have sex with
They
us.
was having
But
sex
you,
with some of them.
you there for 12 hours, and I'm able to be with you 10, 11 hours. You gonna get to know me. You gonna see a quality of me that the judge them to see. You gonna like me. You gonna reciprocate. Cause you know what I'm saying?
And
I'll wait until I got out.
I'm gonna tell you something. The first officer that I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. An officer approached me, right? And I was at what they call it wasn't work release, it was industry, because I wasn't getting paid, because I still had all my time in front of me. You had to be like 3 years and under, and I still had like 5 years. But I was at industry, and this officer said, stepped into the medical room, and he said, "Come here." And so, he an officer. So I went to him. He shut the door. So we standing behind the door. He say, "Okay." Now, me with my ignorant self, because, I'm still street. I ain't gonna lie. I was young. Like I said, them first couple of years, I was like numb, so I was still ready to do whatever. And I said, "Okay, what?" I'm ready to knock. Because I'm like, ain't nobody up in here but me and you. Okay,
and
what?
he ready to knock too.
What? No, I'm talking about knock like that. What you think we finna do? And so he say, I said, wait, hold on, let me explain something to you. See, I'm not like one of them women that you think. I said, because if I do what you want me to do right now, am I gonna get out of prison tomorrow?
See, but more women that do that.
No, I don't need no sex, baby. Am I gonna get my freedom tomorrow because I give you what you want?
I'm
see, that's the
unapproachable out
stupidity.
here, and I was
And
unapproachable
that's what
in
I'm
there.
saying. So, Lynn, and
Same
you got
thing work out here,
standards. Your
the same
standards is your
standards in there.
standards.
I
And that's the
know.
thing.
I
It don't
did.
matter. If you in prison,
What you said, Bridget?
I said I kept my standards.
If-
But y'all, let me
yeah.
tell y'all this something. Ramen
that's
noodles.
just who you are.
You know, when you go and get to the PX and order your stuff, I learned everywhere to make ramen noodles.
Okay, I
They
did
not
put the
eat
sauce
them.
in.
You can't eat them now, or?
I don't
Listen
eat
now.
them then, didn't eat them
Man,
before.
boy,
I
ramen
tried.
noodles. Hey,
Let me tell you
I
something.
said to get a head bust of a soup. A
just
soup
can't
is a
do it.
recommend. Hey, that
They
boy.
call me gangster.
But you know what? I never
I was so
appreciated
bougie.
cheese until I got in prison. Cause the cheese, and they get you the little
Oh, God.
sausage thing, and I cut it up in there, fried, and then put. I didn't even know you could fry Roman noodles. You
Yeah.
fried it, put them sausages in there, and that
There's some
cheese.
onion.
Best
I
damn
can't do
thing.
it. I seen all the spreads. I
So,
never
hey,
got
so
down
you
with
people out here eating these steaks, been in hunters, or
be
watching the
glad to
chef
eat
cook in front of you, man. Hey, better cherish that, especially you living this life where you throwing stones in prison.
you know, and
hey, I'm
that-
telling them noodles.
And that's the good thing
Man.
that I try to make sure, cause you know, like Lynn say, you know, my giving didn't just start. I've been giving since I was a child because that's my nature. In fact, me and Lynn, even one year, we adopted a family
Sure did.
for Christmas.
I still do it too.
Yeah,
Every year.
And
beat goes on.
God has moved me on to now I adopt prisons.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
still
feed
do. I'm still
I feed
small
the men
fry.
in the prison, and so I'm saying we still, that's our heart, that's our passion. So you know, I just wait on the word from the universe on how I should move, because before, when I was doing what I wanted to do, that's what landed me in prison. And so one thing that we've got to learn and try to teach our younger men and women, especially our women, because see, that's why you talking about all that sex and stuff. You know, it's okay to love somebody, but baby, don't be no fool. Because I saw so many women in prison behind their men while their men was
Hey,
free
hold up.
and laying up with their friend. Okay, so be careful. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't care if De Niro a man with a man's program,
Well,
but
I'm
he
sure-
got women on here today.
I'm sure
And I'm
gonna
gonna
bring it
tell you,
up.
young girls, get you some mature, because I don't use the word old, some mature women. You know, I'm sure Lynn is gonna call out her number. I'm gonna call out mine, Bridget. What y'all need to do is get up underneath our wings
I was a go-to.
and
Still
let
is.
let
Always
us
have
teach
been.
you
From
how
county
not
to
to go to
prison.
prison.
Yeah.
Cause
They
see,
stay coming
I
to
don't
me.
want to continue to do programs with people coming out of prison. But what I was going to tell you guys before we went to break, there's a movie coming on today. Because De Niro has said earlier about there was not any movies out about women. This movie has been in the making for years. I've got a chance to see it and review it. It's called Belly of the Beast. About women in prison, in California prison. They were telling these women that they needed different surgeries, and the whole time.
I have a nonprofit. My
Yeah,
writing club is
I have a nonprofit also, Miss Tommy, and we're going to give all that
We'll
information toward the
understand if you
end.
need to.
Yeah. So I think everybody needs to watch this movie called Belly of the Beast if you want to see the true life of what's going on behind prison walls. We ain't talking about no orange is black is new orange, or orange is new black, whatever the name of the movie, because I don't watch none of that stuff. But if you want to know the true of what's going on in prison, you're going to see the real people having real talks. It's Belly of the Beast. It's going to be on PBS. Please look at your station channels for today. Today is the world premiere, Belly of the Beast. If you want to know what prison is like for women behind them walls, watch it.
Well, before they watch that, we're gonna let y'all break it down to them though. But in prison
Okay. But I
though,
want
did
them to watch
y'all participate in any type of sports and things like that?
Yes,
I
I
play
did.
basketball on break.
No.
On the red.
I did.
I'm a girly girl.
So you didn't do nothing.
I worked in a beauty salon. No, I was a crafter. I made clothes and
Oh, yeah.
blankets.
Yeah.
We did a lot
I
of
made
relay
money.
races and different
Relay-
things.
you
Yeah,
were racing
different-
too?
We did races.
45?
We did. We did a lot of stuff. I was in shape when I was in prison. I might not be in shape now, but I was in shape while I was in prison. But another thing I wanted to say was when you go to prison, the best thing to do is to block the world outside out.
got
You're going
to.
to have to.
Yeah.
You
If
got
you got
to.
a man,
You drive
it's
yourself
not really
crazy.
good to go in with a man unless he's a good man, okay? I went in without one. I had a boyfriend, and when I pled guilty, he pled to walk away.
The judge
And
broke
it
y'all
and
up.
it was no, he broke us up, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Okay.
You know what?
I went in with a peace of mind. I went in doing what I got to do because I know I had an entry date and I had an exit date. And let me tell y'all something. Some of us women are the strongest creatures out here.
No,
okay?
all of us.
Some. I'm gonna go back to the truth.
That's our nature.
And just because a woman catches a charge, it doesn't make them the police. Let me go on and break that down. Every time a woman catches a charge, when I call my charge, they want to holler, "You the police." Ain't nobody been busted. I'm not on anybody's paperwork, and I just want to let y'all know we are some strong women. We can take a lick and keep on ticking. So,
but then at the same time, you ain't gotta take a lick if you ain't got to. You can learn from the person's mistakes.
Exactly.
That's what
you gonna learn.
I don't think that you're smarter than them.
That's
Either you gonna learn or you gonna repeat yourself. And I saw a lot of women coming in, they throwing parties. I'm like, how can y'all feel good about coming in here? I want to go home. And when I go home, I ain't coming back. I told them women, I'm not coming back. I've had several obstacles come to me, and I know it was the devil. I was down and out. I came home. I'm going to tell y'all some places I worked. Places the boss would never work. I went in a boss, I came out with one, but guess what? When them people be in your life, they going to make you go get a job, a regular job. And I worked at Popeyes. I ain't ashamed to say it. Sharks, the Dag Shack, places where they belittle you, you know what I mean? And guess what? I came out fighting. I got a better job at the city, even it wasn't all that. And then I stepped out on faith and went back to my original program, which is being the boss that I am. And so the thing of the matter is I use my gift that I always had to survive, because you ain't got nothing but time to sit in there and think about what you plan to do when you come home. And you make your time useful. But the thing about it is I left my kids out here. I hurt my family. Most of all, it wasn't about nobody else, but the main two people I hurt was my kids.
Yes.
You know, and I asked God to keep my grandmother. She's 93, finna be 94 years old in May. I asked God to keep my mother, you know. After a couple of visits from my kids, I told them, hey, don't y'all come back spending no more money coming way down here. And they got this thing called Skype in federal prison. I was able to visit them on video, and it helped me get through because it wasn't watching them leave. And thank God when they shipped me way off to Timbuktu to California, I had my sisters and my brother-in-law and their kids. They came to see me in California. So I was getting visits when I wanted to. And I met a lot of my friends that I had before then. They wasn't meant to go through my whole, they was just passing through, some of them. I got some that's still there, but some of them was passing through, and no, they didn't owe me nothing. But I got letters from Lisa Burley, Eleanor, you know, some good people that stayed me with that mail call. Mail call is important.
You didn't get no mail while you were locked up?
I probably got one letter from the church.
I got one from the church. That's
why I said, because see, the thing about it is, people don't, I got burned when I was 11, so I was in and out of the hospital until I was 17. So I never was able to ever form any real tight bonds. Yeah. So my bonds didn't come until after I got grown and came back from California in Hot Springs. Even though
you call pat with people, I'm talking about form of kindred that's unbreakable.
And so, but in prison, like now, my whole community. Me and Bridget, we've been talking about this all weekend long that she's been with me, you know, because she talk about the calmness that I have and how I don't let people bother me. I said, because I've realized that blood does not make you my family. Because, see, I got people right now that call me during the week, you know, my sisters, you know, from all over the state. They're saying, hey, Ruby, how you doing? How you feeling? That, you know, and I love these women, you know. I mean, and that's what we got to build right here in Little Rock. Is my biggest thing is so many women that are formerly incarcerated, but we hold grudges, you know, instead of building each other up. Like, yesterday, you know, I was saluted, and I wasn't expecting it, because like I just do what I know I'm supposed to be doing, you know, working on bills, you know, to become law, to help make it better for people that's incarceration, coming out of incarceration, people that I don't want to go into incarceration, you know, and we need to get together and talk about diversion groups. You know, as women, how do we keep our women from going to prison? Because it's going to take women like us that's already been to prison to come together and overlook differences and say, but we working for a main cause.
But let me say this to y'all. Let me say this. You know, a lot of people not fortunate, and it wasn't a vacation for me, but I can say that I was truly blessed, because My daughter's father took on her. He had money on my books that's why I was able to help everybody else. But the thing about it is, when I got out, we didn't stay together. My daughter's 29 years old, but he was in and out of prison and everything. But when he went to prison, I made sure that he was able to call. I don't care what man I was with. I made sure that he was able to call my house every Sunday. And I told this man, look, I'm gonna pay him. I'm gonna be there for him. I sent him money, and some of the men they would give me money to send to him. So it was a bad experience, but on the same time, I had that support. And I'm gonna tell y'all, a lot of women need that support. They don't have it, and I see it. So that's why I was like, well, here, give it here. Sometimes I would just. Like I said, I didn't even smoke cigarettes. I bought Newport, name brand, and they come, Dooley, can I get a cigarette? And I give them. But look, I got my respect. I did what I needed to do. And I think everybody, all y'all, the state, you had to take SATP or something.
No.
The SATP?
Yeah.
Only if you
the
use
drug class.
drugs.
The what? Yeah. The drug class.
SATP?
Yeah.
SATP.
I had to take that before I came home.
Yeah.
This is the recidivism problem that's happening with these women out here. This is something that they got all these programs out here and all this stuff out here, but let me just kick it so real to you. My experience coming home with nobody but myself and the good Lord above, okay? I didn't come from no spoon in my mouth or nothing like that. I had to get it how I live. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of people like me or worse out there. And when they get out, people don't want to give them another chance in life. I want to one day be in a position where I can help women. I want to reach down in the trenches and get them women out, get them. And I'm talking about, I don't care if I don't get a dime, as long as I can be able to feed them, give them a roof over their head. They need that. They need another chance in life. Have jobs set up. Don't have to be about your background to get an apartment. I just had a guy call me Charles. 2 ladies that work with him got jobs, been doing their thing, but they in these halfway little program houses or whatever, and they charge them. And then when they tried to get their own place, they couldn't because of their background. Sometimes people need another chance.
Second chance.
Take a look at them.
And then they got that thing set up now on application. They say, have you been convicted in the last 5 to 7 years?
Yes.
So you can
That's
put no.
always been on there.
But then everything linked up to the second part where on the application, you ain't got to put, have I been convicted of a crime? You answer no because it's 5 to 7 years. So your charge probably happened 20 years, but everything going through the second part in there. So when they run your background, you still being denied because
exactly.
But they only asked you 7 years.
But you got to realize though. But
that's going to run your stuff anyway. And you denied because you being denied in apartments, jobs, and everything.
But I've seen it firsthand.
Okay. There is some truth, and then there's some not true. And what I call what I'm going to say with what Lynn, I call it POP. Okay, I call it programs on paper. That's what a lot of people are out here doing. When I do my resource work, now that's free. If somebody calls me, okay, what people don't realize, if you got somebody that's formerly incarcerated, I need you to listen to me. It's called a mainstream voucher. Okay? It's your right. It's only for people who have been formerly incarcerated. And these folks cannot turn you down.
For the apartment?
For the apartment, house, whatever. And you're going to get the voucher. It's just like Section 8. But it's only for formerly incarcerated people. It's called the mainstream voucher. Call right down there to workforce. Back in the back, and call DHS. They're going to tell you to go get your paperwork. They say that you're not working, you don't have any type of income. You get those 2 things stamped. You take, what's the name of the place back in workforce, CDC? What's that place back there? You CADC? Where they pay the lights and what? Yeah.
CADC.
Yeah, you take it back there, and guess what? You on your way to having you someplace to stay. But you got to go find it. But this is what I do. I'm a resource for it. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, they need to do a little better because I know some people.
Well, we're going to take a short commercial break, and y'all hear that CADCD and whatever. But we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
I'm appreciate that. I need
Call
that.
me.
Hey, this connection right here.
I can give you
men too. Ain't just women.
No, it ain't just women. It's men and women.
Yes,
both of them.
both
I'm talking about is a dental care where you can get
your medication paid for. I do
They
it
need
all.
all of
Come on
that.
now. I do it all.
And the thing
A
about it
lady
is
called me the other night. I'm talking about
crazy.
woke me up, and I need to call her back. And
In fact, I got
she
the
called
number
me and asked me
Y'all
with the
got-
Prison Chronicles.
Everything happened for a reason. Right now.
She had asked me,
I'm in the streets.
with us doing Prison Chronicles, she was like, what do we do for men and women that get out of prison? And I had to tell her, nothing. We can't do nothing but give you a platform for you to speak and tell your story. And if you got to plea for help, put it out there. But at the same time, people, it's people that, like, we want to help. We got a desire to do certain things, but we just can't. We need people to, we need you to like and share this, and share our story to somebody that really can help us, because we the forefront people. We not going back to prison.
Well, like I said, this today was something that y'all come together now. Y'all got this information. Y'all get together because y'all at a place where you can help people. I try to do the best I can, and now I'm learning. I didn't even know you had all these resources.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. On my Facebook page is called Felon, and at first everybody's like, it's an acronym. F.E.L.O.N, and everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't want to get away from that. But FELON stands for Formed, Incarcerated, Empowered Leaders Overcoming Negative Stigmas. Everything that the world say you can't do, that's a lie. You can. They told me in prison, you ain't gonna be able to work for the state. Guess what? I work for the state right now.
Come on now.
Okay? I work for UAMS. I work for the state. I make real good money. And guess what? It's so simple, because what y'all fail to realize, you thinking you got to get all these degrees. Give me a call, 501-247-5899. That's my business number, so it ain't on me right now. So if you call it right now, you'll get it. But look me up on Felon, and you can see it's easier for you to send me messages through Messenger, or to email me at Welch, W-E-L-C-H, Ruby45@yahoo.com, and I promise you I will answer you back. But there's all kind of things out here. I tell people I'm a community health coordinator, but I am a resource because I had to walk this stuff down for myself. There is monies out here. There's a young black entrepreneur right here in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and I'm not gonna bring his name out right now because we only do it at certain time with certain people, but has grants that when you've done prison time or a certain length of jail time, you get $325 that same day to help you to get the products that you need your first day coming out of prison. See, those are things that are out here that people
like
don't
that,
know.
we need to, you said he do it at a certain time, and that's cool too, but like, for instance, I'm in tune with a lot of people that's still in prison, that's getting out of prison, like they get out, and cause the word spread, a lot of people, not just through Prison Chronicles, but a lot of people hit me up when they get out, and I ain't got nobody like
But
this.
see, a lot of things you can't do while they're still inside.
I'm saying, but they in touch when they come home, to the point where everybody need assistance. You ain't able to help
in a
them.
position to do things.
I'm still on
Like going
paper.
in
I'm
there.
still on parole.
Federal's a mug.
No.
I'll be off in a few months.
No,
though,
I'ma
and
tell you,
when
federal-
I get
What's
off,
the
I'ma
difference?
hit the ground running.
So what are your limits being on federal
my
parole?
limits on
that
federal,
you can't do.
everything that you do is an ass thing. It's a gotta get approval thing.
I do too.
It's a lot of things. No, like on state though, it's a little different. I'm
different.
sorry,
It
it
is.
is.
It really
And
is.
on federal, it's things that you can and you cannot do. I am on federal right now. I don't know about back then. I'm talking about right now, currently right now on papers. I'm almost off. And when I get off, I'm gonna hit the ground running, doing what I got to do, because I have been involved in ads. I've spoke in speaking engagements. I've done some things since I've been home. I mean, it's more things that I need to do and want to do, but my hands are tied until I come out papers. But when I come out papers, everything I need to do, I will be getting with you on some of those leadership things that I need to do, because there were
Ruby,
so
you got
many
a lot of
women
resources.
in the
And that's
jailhouse, just the county jail right up the street.
Yeah.
And the people that's out there in the cold, most of my people, I feed them homeless people every week. Most of them been to jail, prisons, and everything, and they only got a certain amount of income. And while they sleeping outside in them tents, it's because of certain situations. They some of the nicest people you ever meet that's going through a thing. The same thing that we was just strong enough to come and fight a little harder for. They don't have it. They need a little assistance. Everybody ain't
I've been
gonna be
homeless
good.
3 times since I got home from prison. So you know what I'm saying? I
I'm
know
talking
the
about-
struggle is real, but I want you guys. I mean, and it's true. I've been homeless. You know what I'm saying? Homeless.
Thank God you're not now.
But I want to tell you, speaking of the federal stuff, I promise you,
They work different.
Sarita Steele. Sarita, I know you're gonna mind me call your name out. just got free. Topeka K. Sam just got free.
Different people's situations
Travel all
are
around the
different.
world, but because it's
it
doing the
works a-
paperwork, because I call them my slave papers.
Yeah, it's
Before I can even go to Memphis, Tennessee.
But I'm going through it right now. I can only speak for me, okay? I'm speaking for my situation, what I'm going through. There's certain stipulations on certain people, okay? The federal system does work different than the state. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, those are fair.
I'm
Check this out,
currently
y'all.
on
We
it.
gonna. I mean,
And it
I
does.
like
It
that because
does.
at the same
It
time,
does.
you know,
It does.
Yes.
I'm learning a lot of information
Because the
too,
point, see, people
especially
don't know
from
about
the
the
women's
points.
side.
But to
They
me,
don't
but to
know
me,
that.
We don't have no
feds
point
have-
system in the
feds
state. You know, so it is
feds
totally different.
are actually more lenient than the state.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna tell
You
you.
live
I'm
good
gonna tell you
until
what
you
I
don't even
say.
live
You don't even live good.
You don't even
I'm not
live
even talking about the
good.
living good.
It's awful.
I'm gonna tell you because, like the
Really?
state,
Yes.
I have a 30-year sentence. I'm on, and I also have a restitution that occurs interest every month. Okay, you got a flat date, right?
I have a date, that
Yeah.
I'm gonna be off.
So that's what I'm saying. So you have a date.
But I ain't gonna be through with them. But I'll be off. Yeah, I'll be.
So
through
hold
with
on,
'em.
when you
get
off
out.
papers, how you ain't through with them?
Because when you off papers, you through with them then when you get off your
Yeah, that's
thing.
what I'm
But when
talking
you
about.
get out your jail, you
Nah,
still
yeah, I'm
got
talking
your
about when you get on
you
papers.
got
You
supervised
got
release.
your flat date.
Yeah, I'll be
Did you
done
know
with
this?
them.
Yeah, your
Like,
flat
To
date.
God be the glory, girl. You to the office
Okay,
and
I
wait
was
a
gonna say,
minute.
for real,
I'm through with them.
Hey.
I'm through with them.
I'm gonna say, cause you know, I thought you could. Cause how you know?
I will
Did you
not
know?
tell that date.
Did you know that
Yeah.
No, we don't need
a
the
sex
date.
offender? They really like, for instance, a sex
I
offender
can't
can be
stand
sentenced
them.
to
I'm sorry.
5. I mean, that's your right. Speak on it.
Ooh,
But
they in there,
a
in
sex
that federal
offender
prison.
can be sentenced to 5 years. They do
But
their 5 years
he
in
never
prison
comes
or
out the
here, whatever.
register.
They
Never.
never off.
They got arrested wherever
They
they
got-
move.
for the rest of their life.
Wherever they
As they
move, they got to
should.
register in
And-
that county
and-
and make sure. And if they
For the
don't,
rest of
they
their
gonna
life.
pick them up.
And I'm gonna
They
tell
gonna
you
pick 'em up,
something.
take 'em to jail.
For real.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Nara. Don't you just sit here and act like
should.
all sex offenders are just male, because baby, like she
Female.
said, we
Shoot.
got
Hey,
female.
man, hey.
And I'm
To
gonna
me,
tell
they
you
all look
something.
alike in the federal prison with them glasses on, looking nerdy, and they
They call
ain't
them
nothing.
Chumbo
They
3000.
could not
Hey,
sleep
then
beside
they
me.
got the best jobs.
Now I know y'all been that
Oh,
woman.
they saved him in the state
They
prison.
saved him in the
They
federal.
saved him in the
Now, we
state
just
prison.
had
I'm
a
talking about-
federal.
We
They
just
got
had
the
a
best
woman got
jobs.
convicted.
You better not
Say
say
what?
nothing.
We just had a woman got
I hate 'em.
convicted of sex offended.
I know it's
what,
wrong
about
to
a
hate,
month
but I
ago?
hate them.
The Caucasian lady, was she sex offended a 13-year-old or something?
Plenty of white ones.
I mean,
Excuse me, it's the truth.
Girl, they ain't
Some
no
black ones,
Ain't
but
no
there's plenty
excuses
of
in
white
the
ones in the
truth.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you,
No.
the difference between
Glasses
like this
on.
all these white teachers and having sex with these students and they going to the pen. They wasn't happening back in our day, boy. These are a different breed. They is telling on these women. Do you know how proud we would have been, man, to sit there? You hunting your teacher, man. You put
it ain't just the
boy, they
teachers.
is sending these women to the pen, boy.
listen,
Right now, just
Don't
these
be
young,
like Janelle.
I mean, don't be like me. I ain't justifying
Don't be like
anything.
that's what these kids out
So
here.
now
When I came out, it's a whole
I'm just
lot
saying.
out here.
He gonna kiss it. He ain't gonna tell.
I'm just saying, I had sex with older women when I was little. I ain't tell nothing. I was happy. You know what I'm saying?
I know you ain't gonna tell. We know you ain't.
You not good, huh? Yeah, that's right for you. I mean, but it was cool though. I was nothing.
But they
I was able to
bust
bust.
fine self.
He was okay with the rape.
Yeah.
See, he agreed
Yeah.
with the rape. though. You
I
gotta
mean, listen,
understand.
I mean,
With his man himself.
Nah,
He was managed.
I was managed. I was a science project.
Y'all heard me say about the
I
women.
was a science project.
Wait a minute, I
I was
got
a
a
science
headache
project,
now.
and they were being experimented on. I just laying there, you know what I'm saying, just doing my thing. I was doing what I was supposed to do, and I was learning. Keep sweat, better right. I was listening to all that, and I was, you know, after the pain and all that, I'm like, dang, was she fighting?
And she messed you
and
up,
all
though,
that.
girl, your
I'm listening to
ass.
all that. Then look at Superwoman. Early in the morning. I was like, hold up, I couldn't
They was
wait.
bringing you eggs and stuff in bed and all that, huh?
Hell yeah. Shit's up for real. And I ain't even front. I ain't front. Hell, y'all I live like a prince.
And I believe
at an
you.
early age.
I believe you.
And I ain't get a chance to turn to a king in prison. You know what I'm saying? But I was talking about being a prince. You know what I'm saying? Shoot ya.
But don't be like De Niro.
And stop telling these teachers. No, I'm just kidding. Teachers, stop doing it.
But on a real note,
Shoot.
when I went to prison,
Yeah.
I found out who everybody was. Everybody's true colors came out. Thank y'all for that. You know, I found out who my real friends' family. Yeah, I said family.
Yes.
Them too. I found out who was for me and who was against me and who I just shouldn't let them walk into my new chapter of life. I got a new chapter, y'all. It's looking real bright on my end. It got gloomy. When I got out, I had a 456 credit score. I ain't been out not even a whole 2 years, y'all. got a 2020 Challenger, and I went to the lot and
Come
got it
on
in
now.
my name, okay?
Her name.
So
now.
I'm just saying, you know, you can do anything you want to do.
you can.
Never let nobody hinder you. It gets hard, but you got to dust yourself off. Get back up. You hear me?
back up.
Don't lay there. Get back up. I'm talking about my
Yes.
number is 682-206-9013. I sleep with my phone. Anytime you need a real person in your life, holler at me, because whatever I can do for you, I do. I can talk to you. I can lift you up when you're down. I can tell you that it's life after prison, because I got one, okay? It was very hard. I was a mother. Left my 2 kids. I am their keeper. I'm supposed to be out here. I left them, okay? Left them and didn't even teach them a lot before I left, but they learned. You either shit or get off the pot.
Come on
my
now.
kids learned. Do you hear me? They learned how to survive, and for that, if I die tomorrow, I know my kids will make it.
Come on now.
And you know what? Piggybacking off Lynn, I want to say this. You know, people always say, new level, new devil. And I'm gonna tell you something. See, right now, God got us going into an atmosphere. And see, you know, when a plane get high and high, you know, you protected while you're in that cabin. But when folks trying to run alongside of us, they gonna get a nosebleed.
Oh, yeah.
So we ain't gotta worry about it, because God has people falling off me. He purging right now.
Thank you.
I love everybody.
Yes.
I do anything for anybody. But let me tell you something. If I hear a snipping, a negativity, even if I don't run with Lynn, if I don't fool with Lynn, but if I know Lynn out here doing the good thing and fighting the good
have to
fight,
take up for each
and you
other.
gotta say something
right.
about
Take up for
Lynn,
each
guess
other.
what?
I
I know
wanna
what
do
to
it.
do with you. I need to cut you out, because soon as you leave
Listen.
my side, you gonna
go
say something about me to
Exactly.
live.
Okay.
So guess what? So what I do is I keep to myself. My house is my sanctuary. It's
Ain't
my
nothing wrong with being
peaceful
alone.
place.
I had to
And
learn
guess
that.
what?
Yeah, that's when you seek
You
your relationship with
have to
God.
be
Time is
careful,
with alone.
because all them
Time.
spirits, because see, people be smiling in your face.
What?
I love you. I love you.
Y'all gotta watch who y'all have pray for y'all,
I
man.
love you.
Okay.
You hear me?
Okay.
Kick in the ass.
Okay.
You hear what I said?
I
Don't
come
let
back
everybody
done
pray.
winning.
Don't let everybody pray for you. Cause you can't let everybody pray for you, because they pray. Hey,
Yeah.
My
but you
new
know-
walk of life is my best life. I thank
Come on
God
now.
for the incarceration. I thought I'd never
Yeah.
let the words come out my mouth.
Yeah.
I thank you,
Hey,
Lord.
people used to think that was
I
weird when I
need
tell
it-
them
I
that.
need it
They don't, you know what I'm
every
saying?
day.
I thank God for
I
what I've
need
been
every
to.
day.
But I also say that prison wasn't made for me, but prison what made me who I am today.
What?
But I don't regret going to
Cages aren't
prison. You know,
made for
sometimes I hate that I
humans
did so much
anyway.
time, but I don't regret going there
Don't
because
regret none
I
of
learned
it.
the instrumental
don't
level of
regret it,
knowledge.
but the only
period.
thing I hate about prison is, the only thing I hate about prison, now, mind you, some folks need to stay in prison until they
And
come
they need to
out.
let some of them people that's supposed to stay out of
Until
there.
they come out in baby diapers, eating baby food.
Some of them best time in prison because they was dope addicts.
Hey,
They
and you
was
know what?
homeless, but some- they feel better now.
But concrete walls to me, y'all.
Yeah, for
gotta
us.
think, concrete walls should not mean death. You know, because you know, I look at Shirley Danner, who's out now, who had a life sentence. You know,
Big shout out to Jackie Cooley Brown. I love you.
okay, yeah.
I know Jackie.
I miss you.
I was there now.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey,
Big shout out to
Bridget
Victoria.
Dooley here, Jackie. She did my hair.
Hey, look,
She
check it
did
out.
my
My
hair.
mom- my mama watched.
She was a hairdresser. You know, she a hairdresser. She did my
That's
hair.
my sis,
Hey, my
y'all.
mama watched the show last
Kelly.
week. Well, she said she didn't fully watch the
Frederick
whole
Mason.
thing, and she kind of fast forwarded. But she said she didn't watch the show
Terrence
because
Moore.
every time she pushed play, me and my homeboys now was laughing on the show. I told my mama, I said, man, all us did 2 decades in prison. So you expect
Beats
for us to
crime.
go there and come out all stern and militant minded and not, man, prison is a funny place.
It is.
Not
It's
saying you gotta
a
go.
city within a city.
For sure, it's a third world country. That's why I'm
Anything you
out.
can get
I'm talking about
because you know you
that.
got
When
to
you
get
realize
outside.
that you
And
block
if you
this
wanna-
world out here, you gotta live in there. I'm talking
got
about you
to.
get some.
But
Not saying you
Lynn,
have to, but you get some of the best
Lynn and Denaro,
laughs, the
though.
best love. I'm talking about,
Let's
man.
be real.
You
Let's
learn,
be
you
real
learn.
though. If you wanted to live the same lifestyle that you lived out here
No, you can do
in
it.
prison,
You can.
you not?
I was eating Benny Hunters. I was eating Benny Hunters and
If that
sharks,
was your mindset.
and didn't even know what it
That was
meant.
my mindset.
Because see, $100 I know in the state.
if you want to come
Baby,
home, though,
you can
better
get you
sit
some
down.
Kanye.
I
You can get you
It's a
some
little different in the Fed.
But see,
I had
I'm
to get
saying
on
that's
to
your
my baby.
mindset. That's your mindset. Where you trying to
Look
go?
different.
If you want to come home different, because
Did any one of y'all ever go to the hole?
No, thank God. I had a coincidence where I
I went to the hole
Okay, God,
for
the shoes. When they call it the
protection
shoes.
custody.
Yeah, who your ass in PC?
That's what they told me. Yeah, 'cause it was, you know, I
Our hole
mean,
is
just
called
like
the
I
shoe.
said, when I say, prison ain't nothing but a city inside a city. I mean, you got the same thing going on in there that's going on out here. You got folks that don't like you, folks want to kill you, folks want to stab you. So when they hear things like this, and you know, and they know, because they fooled around with what they did with me. They put me in TC, therapeutic community, right?
Yeah.
These folks know I'm a woman that I know smoked 2 joints in my life. Once when I was 16 and one was I was 24. That's all the dope I never did. Okay? They put me in this barracks to be a mentor to these folks that's been getting high all their life and still getting high right now inside this building. And so they did not like me. And so,
Damn,
You wasn't down for what they was doing.
Shit.
You didn't know nothing about it.
so they was like, we need to find out, you know, where the drugs coming at, because every time they go home, they piss dirty the same day they go home to their pill. I said, well, it's gotta be coming from inside. Comes to say that. So it was the woman, the free world woman that was coming from the outside, bringing it in. So
She really hated you.
yeah, look. So I had to wrote my little paperwork up. I'm gonna tell you how prison do you now. And I wrote my little paperwork up about what was going on and.
What? That's why your ass in PC.
That's why they didn't like
That's
you.
why your ass in PC.
Yeah.
Your ass was fucking
You ain't
folks.
supposed to tell nothing.
Well, no.
You gotta keep your
In
facts
Second
closed
Kings,
in
the
there.
word said,
No, hell no. You should have stayed out
If the
here.
facts
How you
are
want to pee in the
like
tenant? That's why your ass in PC. Do
Do
it.
not snitch.
How I'm drinking that.
Hold on.
Shit.
But I told, because I was more worried about
Girl, that's why
protecting
they
them
want to
folks
kill you. That's
that
why
was
they
still
like
getting
you.
high.
Look,
Man, you ain't finna protect them. You think you being a leader of TC don't stop them from getting high because you over there.
No, I'm not being a
So we
leader.
mocking.
I don't see nothing. Better look at
See,
it.
no.
Just like to run.
Just like you
'Cause I'm
say.
not gonna- I
just
can't
like
tell
you
y'all
say.
nothing.
That's just like you say. You got.
Nothing.
That's just like you say. You got a problem with sexual offenders,
Yeah, I
right?
don't like 'em.
Okay, my husband died of his
Wanna kill
addiction.
'em.
Okay, so that is my passion. I don't want to see people getting high and just constantly
But on
just.
that is
But you
really
told
out
them,
there.
really?
You can't tell.
I ain't trying
It's
to
a
save
different world.
everybody.
Hey, check it out.
It was only 50 women in this barracks with me.
But
so y'all listen. I'm just telling you from Ruby. Y'all ain't got
y'all hear Ruby.
Ruby did
Don't
this.
you go down there telling.
And I'm
You
trying.
ain't changing nothing
going
by
to
going down there
PC,
telling. You
'cause
going
you told me.
and you going. Hey, well, we'll be right back after a short
No
commercial
snitch
break.
policy.
Well, this concludes another segment of Prison Chronicles, and I thank these lovely women for coming on the show. And if you have any more, and you got any, you know, all the previous shows that you have seen, make sure you log in and share them and stuff like that. And if you have anybody that been on the panel and you want them back, you know what I'm saying? Let me know, and I will have them back, and I'll have us, a bigger panel. But I thank these lovely women for coming and sharing their stories. And the energy was here, and I thank them for the opportunity. And if you ever have any more men and women, spouses, daughters, aunties, uncles, anybody that have been to prison, lost people to prison, and you want to speak and give your story, hit us up at 501-551-8489. And before we conclude this demonstration, I'm gonna let these ladies tell the people cause they already got us. Right. Tell the people, aunties, uncles, sisters, daughters, nieces, and nephews that living the life that we once lived or that they glorify. Try to get them some type of encouragement to try to deter them from the path they're going. It ain't worth it.
Let me tell you something. When you get in there, you're going to wish you had your freedom and they had to stand up for stand-up counts and all that stuff. You wish you could eat what you want to out here. You can go where you want to. Ain't nobody micromanaging you. Ain't nothing like your freedom. Okay, the money is good. I done had all that. But I'll take a little bit long as I can stay free out here. As long as I can survive, I got the things that I need, maybe not everything I want. Don't worry about them wants. Take care of your needs, and it's a way. It's always a better way than that way, because it ain't but two places you're going: dead in that graveyard or to the penitentiary.
Also, tell me about your food.
Every Sunday,
address.
Boss Meals on Wheels. My location where I've been serving out of is 3320 Mapleville Pike, where the Paper Moon is. It's called Boss Riders. I am the national president of Boss Riders. I'm over men and women here in the state of Arkansas, and I also have a chapter in Texas as well. Make sure on Sundays, though, if you need something to eat, and today we have a Super Bowl party. $5 admission, free food. Come and kick it with your girl.
Come eat.
The boss.
The boss player.
Well, all I can say is I've had plenty, I've had nothing, and today I put God first. Amen. And He works it out. I got favor and I have my faith.
Amen.
Well, hello, you. Y'all can reach me at Ruby Annette Carter Welch on Facebook, Truth versus Fact on Instagram, and also on Facebook you can reach me at Felon, Formed, Incarcerated, Empowered with Leaders, Overcoming Negative Stigmas. You can hit me up at 501-247-5899. And what I want to tell you guys, what I want to leave you with, this is what I tell people, you really want to see what prison's like, okay, go get you some food, go get you some snacks, and go in your bathroom
And put it in the box.
and have somebody put a
Look
lock.
container.
Have somebody put a lock on the outside of the door
Sleep
and
on the
keep
floor,
you in there for 24 hours, where your sink, your toilet, your food, everything in one room.
In one room.
Oh, and then plus they need to unscrew the light bulb.
Hold on, and take the bathtub out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
the
that
bathtub
bathtub
out.
out.
You
You ain't get no bathtub, nigga.
Because you can't turn the light switch on and off when you want to either. So, and then I need them on
can't be
one
shower,
roll of
taking
toilet
shower.
tissue. So I need you to
Hold
do
on,
that.
they ain't even give you the roll of toilet tissue no more.
No, they roll it
roll,
up.
yeah, the roll gone. So
Nah,
you
they
can't
get
even use
the
no
whole-
pillow.
they get the whole roll now.
Hey, but shoot.
Nah,
When
they
did
don't
you come
have-
out?
yes, they do.
When was you out?
I just left the county.
In the hole,
Oh,
you ain't
in the
get.
county.
In the hole, you ain't getting a roll. And in the
no,
barracks,
in the county,
you
in the
still get a
barracks,
roll.
you get a roll. Yeah.
I'm talking about
I need
that used to be my
y'all
pillow.
to do
I
that.
can't have my pillow no more.
Okay.
That roll of tissue with my pillow. I slept good as
Take the
hell.
cork out your toilet tissue. But I need you guys to do that. Have somebody to do that for 24 hours. So that way, when you think about committing a crime, you can always think back to that little room that you was locked in for 24
And the
hours.
stand-up count.
And imagine doing that for 7 years, 5 months, and 6 days. Oh, with
One day is too
with
long.
with another human being in the room with you.
One and everything, and you switching out draws. But thank y'all.
No, we ain't
man.
switching out no drawers.
Ah, shoot, hey, boy, hey, go
We
ahead.
didn't.
Big shout out to Frederick Mason, Kevin Williams, Jackie Cooley Brown, Christopher Kelly, Terrence Moore. I got so many, Nerio. I got so many people in that prison. Come on home. We waiting on y'all. We come on home, y'all. Let's do it the right
And
way.
again, thank you for sending them guys down the money and stuff.
Yeah, I
Cause
do
they
what I
told
can
me
when
they
I
told
can.
me to thank you. I heard personally. They say you sent it. You got a
I
lot
didn't know
of
I
people.
was
now. You-
appreciated like
yeah,
that.
in the
Yeah,
mill, you
you
making
think
making
you
it back
ain't?
in the mill prisons.
And y'all don't have
thank-
money half the time.
Thank
when I
y'all.
see
And remember
so.
this: there's no
God
us
got
without
you,
you.
baby.
There's no us without you, and it's never too late.
What?
Peace out.